On the Choose to Think podcast, I will encourage and empower you to engage and optimize your best thought life in practical, meaningful ways so that you can live day by day in joy, peace, and God's purpose despite all externals. This is Victoria, and welcome back to the Choose to Think podcast. I'm so glad you're here. And thank you for tuning in. I'm doing something a little bit different on the Choose to Think podcast, and I think you're going to love it. You know, I've done these Clubhouse masterminds for 2 or 3 months. And so I thought I'm going to pivot just a little bit and focus more on our health and other things that I do in my life just to stay fit, 50, and fabulous. Can we say that? And I want to encourage you in the same way. You and I both know that this holistic approach that we take to our lives and how we approach our lives, it's not just one area that we hone in on and look at. Instead, we come at it holistically. And if you think about the 4 areas of our lives and how God created us, we are physical beings, we are spiritual beings, we are emotional or psychological beings. We have feelings and emotions and thoughts, right? And then we're also called with a purpose. God has given us a purpose. And we have a calling on our lives, and often that's our livelihood and may lead to our wealth and so forth. So we want to make sure that as we're maturing, that we're really not just when we're maturing, actually, we want to make sure from the get-go, if only I knew back in my 20s what I know now, right? Okay, yeah, hopefully we're growing wiser. And a part of my pursuit for wisdom as I seek God and his will for my life and what he wants me to do. And, he's trained me and gifted me to be a teacher, something I love doing. And so I just want to pivot a little bit and share and be a teacher or a coach in a new way. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of water. Now, we could go off on a whole spiritual tangent about how Jesus Christ is living water for us, and he satiates and satisfies us to the innermost parts of who we are. But I'm going to actually do a little bit something that's more practical. We're going to talk about the practical benefits, that health benefit of drinking water. Now, my go-to is Healthline. I love Healthline. They have so many peer-reviewed research articles, everything to back up kind of what they're saying. And they speak in a way that I can understand. So I know you're watching this on YouTube, or you may be listening on the podcast, the audio version on your favorite podcast app. So wherever you may be, do you mind clicking that subscribe button if you can, or make a favorite wherever you listen? You can even on YouTube ring the notification bell so that you can stay tuned and you'll be notified when something comes up. But I have 7 benefits of drinking water. And again, this comes from Healthline. You can just Google it, the benefits of drinking water, Healthline, and you will actually get all of the studies, because I'm not going to go into detail on the studies, when they were done and so forth. Instead, I want to encourage you in your water drinking. And let me just say out of the gate that I used to hate water. The more I told myself, I hate water, I cannot drink water, water is icky, it tastes horrible. The more I said those things, the more I really seemed to hate water. I can remember walking with my sister when my family lived in Lexington, and she recently moved to Lexington, and we would meet early in the morning to go walking together and just to have that, we're sisters, and to have that chat time. And don't you know that she would come with this humongous container of water. I'm like, no thanks. That is so not me. And I can't possibly do that. And it amazed me and astounded me how she could start drinking water first thing in the morning. Now, I like to watch Stevenson, the Model Health Show. He's got that podcast. He's got a YouTube channel. And recently I heard him say that drinking water first thing is so beneficial to your health. And because sometimes when you wake up, your urine is Here's Rico, is definitely more concentrated. And so drinking that water helps to flush all of that out right from the beginning. So anyway, oh, Rico. I love my dog. So, and anybody who you want to see Rico, maybe you haven't seen him in a while. Come here, come here, come here. Here he is. Oh, and you can go to YouTube if you're listening on the podcast. And my channel is just Victoria D. Walker over there. And she used to think, but this is my little baby. Oh, how much I love him. I do love Rico. Oh my gosh, I'm insanely in love with Rico. He is my little, definitely my best friend. So, okay, anyway, I digress. Okay, so this thing of water is huge. And I knew I was teaching a class called First Year Experience. And that was a college class for freshmen, basically for freshmen or anyone just coming back to school. I absolutely loved teaching this class because we dealt with everything in the class. We talked about how to take a test, class management, registering at the college. We went into their pocketbooks and how to budget and how to be a college student and not blow your money on fast food. We talked about, and it was talking teaching. And so I was so fired up, and I got to share my own life experiences and having raised 4 children, and just all of that I was able to bring to the table to them, bring into the classroom and share from my heart. And I love that. And we also talked about health, because depression on college campuses is through the roof. You've heard of the freshman 30, right? Students come and they start eating. They have these meal tickets and there's junk food everywhere, and it's not mama's good, healthy cooking anymore. And so they tend to gain weight. Sometimes they comfort eat. There are all kinds of issues with when you hit college. So we addressed all of those, and I absolutely loved it. And we even did goal setting. And there was a point where I wanted to be a model for them and an example, right? And so I was encouraging them to set goals. And I was trying to think, okay, what is a goal that I can set? And it was water. I thought, I am going to declare right now in this class that I am going to drink listen to me, one 16-ounce bottle of water a day, or a cup, whatever. And that to me was, you might as well ask me to do 25 pull-ups. I can't even do 1 pull-up. I don't even try to do pull-ups, but that was the impact. That was how difficult I knew it was going to be for me to drink one, that would be 2 cups, right? 1 glass, 1 16-ounce glass, or a water bottle of water. It would be so hard for me. So, and they kept me accountable. And that's kind of when I started, because I've always known that water was important to drink. But I always said, I hate water, I won't drink water. And I was a big soda drinker, like Diet Coke, Coke Zero. Oh, I love Coke Zero, coffee. And basically though, I did not hydrate enough. And I was drinking a lot of, I would put flavor in my water that with the fake sugars. And now thankfully they have actually, plant-based, otherwise healthy sugars that we can use that don't spike our blood sugar, and we kind of feel okay about consuming. But back then it was all fake stuff. And so at any rate, I realized it was important. I just wasn't willing to sacrifice and to put in the time and effort. Last year, I believe it was last year, if not the year before, I thought, now that I've got my ministry, now that I'm pivoting and I'm getting older, for crying out loud, isn't it time I start doing what's right? And the answer is an overwhelming yes. And you may be there too. You may be, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know where to start with my health. Who cares? Start one place. Start with water. Let me tell you about some of the benefits of drinking water. First of all, your body is 60% water, right? And your muscles, as much as 80% water, your muscles alone. So if you want to maximize your performance, as you may know, I'm a pickleball player, and I definitely want to maximize my performance on the pickleball court. I am there to rock it out. So if that's you, if you exercise, if you're a runner or walker, and you want to really squeeze it all out, water is the key. And if you don't stay hydrated, your body is going to suffer. You could have increased fatigue and reduced motivation. And again, this is coming from a little article I printed out. It's coming from Healthline. Okay. Now, let's see. So the summary of that, the number one tip here is losing as little as 2% of your body's water content can significantly impair your physical performance. And that's, they kind of put that negatively as far as the summary goes, but you get the idea. You want to perform optimally, stay hydrated. Tip number two, benefit number two, is that, and I love this one, it significantly affects your energy levels and your brain function. Do you want to have a brain that is functioning in the highest speed, high gear, optimally? Of course you do. And as we age, we know, ladies, gentlemen, we know that our brain function, our cognitive function can decline. So we want to fight that. And drinking water is such an easy and natural way to do that. Some studies show that even just a teeny bit of mild dehydration impairs your brain function. It may affect your mood. All right. You know, I used to be a person who was so emotionally driven. I was up and down, and something would happen, or you plummet, and then something would, you know, I was just this. And I mean, there were some flat lines in between. It's not like I was, you know, really always extreme, but my emotions played a huge part on how I did my life. And they often, I would drop if I, you know, somebody said something or something happened. It just, you know, crazy way to live, but that's the way I used to live. And then thankfully I went through a depression in 2016, and a friend challenged me to learn what it means to take thoughts captive. Fast forward to today, here we are, and I am on fire to share what I learned. I could be the poster child for taking thoughts captive. It has so impacted my life. But I also realized that it's not enough just to take thoughts captive if I don't have control over my bank account. It's not enough to take thoughts captive if I'm 30 pounds overweight. It's not enough to take thoughts captive if what's coming out of my mouth is not wholesome. And so as a 21st century Christian, I want to change that dialogue about all of this. The world has hijacked, I could get off on so many tangents, but the world has totally hijacked this thought for this biblical mandate to take thoughts captive, to be transformed through the renewing of our mind. And there's a lot about mindfulness, and you know, our thoughts matter, think positive, all of that. And that's fine and well and good. But finally, the world catches up to the Bible, but they skew it a little bit. And so we as Christians our brains are incredible functioning machines. Everybody's brain is. And when it's filled with truth and, you know, God's word, man, look out. We can live a radically transformed and changed life. And I'm here to tell you that's what's happened to me. So I don't want to have memory loss. I don't want to be fatigued, and I don't want to suffer from feelings of anxiety. And if I drink water, something so simple, water, it can really help. So the summary there, the big benefit takeaway there is that mild dehydration, fluid loss of 1 to 3%, can impair energy levels, mood, and lead to major, the word they're using here is major, based on their scientific studies, okay? And you can look them up. They have all their trusted sources listed, based on, and will lead to major reductions in memory and brain performance. No, thank you. I'm gonna love water. Matter of fact, now I do love water. That's what I'll tell you about that in a moment. Okay, tip number 3, benefit number 3, is that it may help and prevent headaches. Now, I have to tell you, I never really suffer from headaches. I know a lot of people who have migraines, debilitating migraines, and I always thought that would be horrible. I've had a migraine or two, but in general, that has not been something that I've suffered from. So the tip here, the summary here, the takeaway is that drinking water may help reduce headaches and headache symptoms. Now, it does say here that more high quality research is needed to confirm this potential benefit. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling it like it is. Tip number 4, it may relieve constipation. Okay, that kind of stands just where it is. But in the article says that there is some evidence to back this up. And even mineral water, if you have that particular problem, you probably need more fiber. But water is really going to help too. And if you can get water that's somehow mineral rich, that really may help, like magnesium and sodium, okay, to improve that. So drinking plenty of water may help prevent and relieve constipation, especially in people who generally don't drink enough, which would have been me way back when. All right. Benefit number 5, may help treat kidney stones. Again, I've never had a kidney stone. I know people who have had kidney stones, and they are excruciating. Right? One of the benefits of drinking so much water is that it appears that it decreases the risk of the kidney stone formation. And by the way, while I'm talking about all this stuff, even reading from Healthline, let me just say right now, I am not a physician. What I share is trying to encourage you to take good care of yourself. But by all means, you need to talk to your doctor and seek physical, seek assistance and guidance from a medical professional. This is just me as fit, fab, and 50-ish to come and share with you some of the things that I have done that have significantly changed the way I live my life, because I want to live a healthy life. Okay, tip number 6 is prevents hangovers. Okay, that's something else I don't really deal with, but alcohol is a diuretic, so it's sucking the moisture out of your body, and your body's like, wait, I need it. So even it says if you can drink a glass of water between drinks, that may help if that's you, or especially one big glass of water before you go to bed. I mean, we won't get off on the whole alcohol wine thing, but just if that's you, it can help you if that's something that you deal with. And finally, benefit number 7 is it can aid weight loss. It actually can boost your metabolic levels. And I love the sound of that, because as we age, especially, maybe we sit a lot, we're working at our desks so much now, we may not be as active, we may have to try harder, but to know that just by drinking water, I can actually give a big boost to my metabolic rate, I'm all in. I love that. And here's the bottom line on all of this. All right. Mild dehydration can affect you mentally and physically. Make sure that you get enough water every single day, whether your personal goal is 64 ounces, like about 2 liters, okay, or a different amount. It's the best thing you can do for your overall health. And that's quoting from the Healthline article. Now, you may lose weight, especially if you time it just right. If you drink that water before you eat a meal. And then they go into all the studies about people who have just drunk water actually consume fewer calories in their meals. So what a great thing to do. So my challenge for you brain changers out there, is to start drinking water today if you don't. Now you can shoot for 64 ounces, or you can do like what I did. And I said, I'm just going to get 16. I got to start small. I don't think I started with half a bottle. I actually think I either went to 12 or 16 ounces out of the gate. And then I started doing that. And then I started telling my students, I'm doing it. I never thought I could do it. And then I increased, because I've also heard that some people say you should drink half your body weight in ounces. Okay, half your body weight in ounces. I weigh 130 pounds. Half of 130, let's just say I weigh 140. That would be 70 ounces for me to drink a day, because 140 divided by 2 is 70. Now, here's where I'm going to show you some products that I love. And I am going to put all the links in the show notes. Matter of fact, they're affiliate links. I'm an Amazon associate. So if you click there and you happen to order, I'll get a teeny, kind of like a commission for doing that. But I decided that for my ministry and my business, if I endorse a product, it's going to be one I use and I love. Otherwise, ain't happening. All right. I got to really love what I'm talking about because I want you to count on me for that. Now, I'm going to show you a brand. This particular bottle, it's Contigo. I love it because it's in Spanish. Contigo. Can you see that? Maybe I can turn it like that. The light is maybe interfering, but it's Contigo, Contigo. All right. You might say it that way. And after I got to one bottle, I went to two. And I did this slowly. It's not like out of the gate, I'm drinking all this water. I had to slowly change. You know, James Clear talks about atomic habits, little teeny habits that you can do that don't sabotage your efforts or make you feel defeated because, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. No, start with a teeny change. And you may want to start with 8 ounces of water. I have no idea. But I love this brand and I have used this brand for ages. They no longer make this particular one, but they've got this locking function up here. And I love it because this particular one would, you know, they've got a smaller one that I actually bought before this one. And I was doing one of those a day, one of those a day. And then I went to 2 of those a day. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to get me a bigger one so I don't have to refill and I could just carry it with me wherever I am, which I would also highly recommend as you're trying to consume all this water. And so I loved it because of the no spill spout, yeah. And that I could carry it like this. I could put it on my, you know, a jacket if I'm hiking. I could put it in, just throw it into my pickleball bag or hook it over my purse. It has that little hook feature. So I love this brand. Matter of fact, I also wanted to show you what I have been in love with forever. And again, I'm going to see if I can find the link for this one, but this is for your hot stuff. Another episode, we're going to talk about green tea. I cannot wait to talk to you about green tea and the benefits to your brain. But this one is stainless steel. And I think it's maybe about 16 ounces. It's also Contigo. I love it. And it has kind of like a vacuum sucky thing and a lock here on the lid. And then you can, you know, you just press it. So you hold it and, you know, you can guzzle like that. So you can put your hot green tea in here. Hot coffee is what I use a lot. Love it because it goes right into my cup holder on my car. So if I'm traveling anywhere, that's the one that I tend to grab. But now here's my favorite. This one I can't wait to show you. And it's called Thermo Flask. And again, I'll put the link, the direct link on Amazon in the show notes. And I want to say, I may have gotten this one for, these are all like under $30. And I even want to say they're under $20. But I haven't had this one for long. You can see it's for the cold version. So this contains about 40 ounces of water. And guess what? You're going to be so proud of me. I actually fill it up twice. So I'm up to 80 ounces. Yesterday I had 120 ounces just because I was extra active. And now my body can control that. Do I go to the bathroom all the time? Sort of. But who cares? Because all I'm thinking about is that I'm flushing this out of my system. I try to get my first 40 ounces in before 1 o'clock because at 2, I like to have tea at 2 and I want to have that green tea boost, a little teeny bit of caffeine at 2 o'clock, but I don't allow myself that treat unless I've had my first 40 ounces. And then I try to get the rest of it in, the other 40 ounces in by 7 because I don't want to get up a whole lot during the night and pee and have my sleep disturbed because sleep is so critical to our brains as well. That's the time your brain is actually detoxing and cataloging and throwing out stuff and forming memories and shelving things, organizing. So I want to have good sleep, but it's a tug of war because I want to have my water. So I try to have it like right now it's 4:30 as I'm recording this and I've already done my one, of course, and I have maybe about half of this left to go. And it has gotten easier and easier and easier as I've plowed along doing this. I have noticed that my skin, the article didn't talk about skin hydration, but oh, I feel like my skin is so much more hydrated, not flaky. I feel like when I do urinate that I'm just that any pesticide maybe I ate on a piece of fruit or something like that, I'm helping my body to pass that on. So much of my body is water. So I want it to really have the ability to transport everything properly, whether it's in my stomach, intestines, my brain, to the muscles, every area of my body. I want it to be really well hydrated. So I am a convert for life on water. My dad is now drinking. Hey, Dad. He's drinking a lot of water now too. And I've been so proud of him. Matter of fact, this is going to be his Christmas gift. So Dad, I won't get you this beautiful purple color, but I want him to have something handy that he can take and just keep with him. So it's so important. And anyway, this is what I'm going to do. And these episodes are going to drop every Monday. And I want to tell you that these are not really scripted. I'm reading from the articles, yes, and from my resources, yes. I don't have that kind of memory yet, but I want it to, it's not that it's not planned, because I am planning these, but I put a lot of time and effort into my Thursday episodes. And when I have guests and when I'm studying the Psalms, that sort of thing. But for now, for these Mondays, we have been doing Clubhouse, which were organic conversations, and you can go back and get all the mindsets, get all the reframe of the toxic thoughts that we did on previous episodes. But for these now, I'm just going to share with you some of the brainy tips, body tips that have something to do with products that I actually use in my life. Should you at all be interested, because I want to endorse these and I want to get you making good choices for your life in all four of those areas: your body, your psyche, your mind, the psychology aspect, your spirit, and then of course in the area of your calling and productivity, your wealth, your livelihood, and so forth. So anyway, thank you for joining me. And again, if you stuck with me, would you drop a comment below, because apparently that helps with the algorithm. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Would so appreciate that. And ring that little bell, and that way you'll get notifications. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for coming back week after week after week. I love you. That is a scientific fact, proven. I love you dearly. I appreciate you so much. Matter of fact, now we have a listener support option on the podcast. You could go to anchor.com. That's where the actual episodes are. And again, I'll put the link in the show notes. You can support for as little as 99 cents a month. That would mean the world to me. If you do, would you tell me that you do, so that I can send you a little gift? So anyway, we're in this together. I'm so happy to be here, jazzed about everything that's coming forward in the podcast. And we're going to keep changing our brains together, because when you have a changed brain, you got a changed life. And believe me, it all starts with our thoughts. And if you're feeling discouraged about, I can't drink all this water, take a small, teeny step. And I promise you that if you consistently do that and consistently, slowly increase that, you will notice the benefits. You're going to have feel upbeat. You're going to have a bounce in your step, and physically, emotionally, mentally, you will have positive changes simply from drinking water. Oh, I forgot this. I want to show you this. This is my purifier. I know we want to use, and it's a Brita. My kids actually got me this a few years ago. Once they knew that I was going head over heels with the water, they, I want to drink purified water as much as I can. It's maybe, I don't know, I've not researched them. I don't know much about it, but it does, at least there's some filtration that goes on in the water that I drink, and maybe it's taking out the major issues that may be there. So, and I do change the filter regularly on this. I also have a filter on my coffee machine. It has one also. So I do try to filter the water that I drink, because I want to have at least clean water. But if that's holding you back, forget it. Just start drinking. The benefits from drinking, you notice this article didn't even talk about purified water, right? It really didn't. The point here is to drink water. And even if you can't buy organic blueberries, buy the other blueberries. don't be defeated because you can't do what you may be able to do down the road. That may change for you. So the important thing is to start, and it's never too late to start doing what's right. So thank you for hanging with me. I love this. I just love this format, and I would love to have your comments and your constructive comments and criticism down below. So God bless you. And until next time, Dios primero y que Dios te bendiga. Ciao.
And that's a wrap, Brain Changer. Thank you so much for tuning in. And say, if you like what you hear, please consider sharing this link to the show with a friend or a family member who you think might be encouraged by the inspiring and hope-filled messages that I try to put out every single week. So thank you so much for your support. And until next time, Dios primero y que Dios te bendiga. Ciao.